Good afternoon. My name is Chris Arnold, and on behalf of the Bob and Alicia Woodrick Diversity Learning Center, we welcome you here to the campus of Grand Rapids Community College. And we're happy to have you here today as we honor our Salute to Women recipients. I'd like to just take a moment to acknowledge our Board of Trustees who are here with us today. We have Mr. Bert Blakey, our Board Chair, and Ms. Deb Bailey, also one of our recipients. Unfortunately, we received some very sad news that one of our honorees, Ms. Pat McKellen, passed away Sunday evening. Pat was very excited about receiving this recognition, and her family would like us to celebrate and honor her legacy and memory, so we will do that to honor her. I hope that you've had an opportunity to celebrate Women's History Month and some of the things that have been happening around campus and in our community. And this is our 17th year with honoring the many women for Salute to Women. And this is just a wonderful way for us to conclude Women's History Month. 17 years of honoring amazing women. So for those of you who received a Salute to Women award, if you could please stand, we'd like to recognize you. And I'd like to take a moment to thank our Women's History Month Committee for their time and efforts in making this a great event. Jennifer Smith, Kathleen Owens, Emily Nicely, and Philip Green, and Noah DeSmit. Thank you and for all your help, and really a special thank you to Jennifer Smith. Jennifer, where are you? Thank you for all your coordinating efforts today. Everything looks wonderful. Thank you. It is said that a strong woman is determined to do something that others are determined should not be done. The women we honor today reflect that resolve and purpose to move forward, challenging what others might see as obstacles. Their stories are varied, as are all of ours, and we believe illustrate the positive contribution of Grand Rapids Community College to their life successes. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our Provost and Executive Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Lori Chesley, and Dr. Chesley will introduce our award recipients today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. In February of 1980, President Jimmy Carter declared by proclamation that a week be set aside as National Women's History Week. In his declaration, he noted that women's achievements were too often overlooked and unsung, even though, quote, the achievements, leadership, courage, strength, and love of the women who built America were as vital as that of the men whose names we know so well. The week blossomed into a full month of recognition, with GRCC instituting the Salute to Women Awards in 1999. With these awards, GRCC honors women chosen to represent the contributions of all of the women at the college. The women we honor today are both leaders and mentors. They lead through their own learning, their own writing, and their own teaching. The Salute to Women Awards recognize those women who are exemplary in their roles as professionals, volunteers, and agents of change. The 4 women we pay tribute to today are not observers. They do not wait for others to act or accept that current circumstances are just the way things are. They consider and they choose, they contribute, they influence, they lead. For the past 17 years, the college has celebrated the diversity of accomplishments of GRCC women with the hope that such public acknowledgments act as encouragement for young women to pursue pathways to achievement. It gives me great pleasure to introduce these women as reflective of the distinction and the quality of all GRCC women. Our first recipient is Barbara Nan Schichtel. And Nan, my notes say you can come forward now. Okay. Nan has been selected to receive the GRCC Employee Award. Nan is an author and a committed volunteer, using her talents as a researcher and historian to uniquely contribute to our community. One of her research subjects is Jessie Buttrick Davis, the first president of GRCC and founder of the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce. Both GRCC and the JCs have played a large role in Nan's life. Teaching has become a core function of GRCC's library faculty and one that Nan embraces. It is an opportunity to be connected directly and personally with both students and classroom faculty. One nominator wrote that Nan's instruction at off-campus locations has resulted in many high school students coming to our downtown campus to use the GRCC library as they work on early college curriculum. I hope that today you take the time when you have a moment to read the program. It contains additional, very interesting, poignant details about all of our winners, and I hope that you'll be able to do that. There's a lot of good information in there. Nan is an outstanding and positive employee, as well as an enthusiastic alumna. I am delighted to recognize Nan with this Salute to Women Award. Nan Schichtel, a woman of optimism and commitment.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the recognition of my work, and congratulations to my fellow honorees, Ariel, Deb, and Patricia. I especially appreciate the time and effort that I know goes into writing nominations and letters of support, as well as putting on events like this. So to my GRCC library colleagues, to my Woodruff Diversity Learning Center colleagues, to my liaison departments, and to past and present library, college, and nonprofit colleagues who so kindly wrote those letters of support, thank you. You guys can really keep a good secret. This Salute to Women recognition initially made me feel like an imposter, that I hadn't done enough to warrant more than a pat on the back and a thanks for what you did for us. But my family and friends kicked me in the rear and said, no, pay some attention here. So this event caused me to be introspective, more so than normal, and I recalled all the people who have helped me along the way. First and foremost, my parents and extended family instilled a love of learning and a sense that we should give back to the community. Messages that were seldom spoken but always understood. My brothers and I are so blessed to have been given that foundation. Not all of our GRCC students are that fortunate. I've been blessed, too, with mentors in my higher education career. At Aquinas, college development administrators and Marywood Dominicans opened my eyes to opportunities in community and nonprofit leadership and in fundraising. At Grand Valley State, it was librarian Nancy Terry who modeled what it meant to be a good teacher librarian, library liaison, and educational partner to classroom faculty. At GRCC, my librarian colleagues, God love you, Director Pat Ingersoll and Dean Trepkowski were very supportive when I was called to serve a 5-year commitment to the Association of College and Research Libraries, first as an officer and then as chair of the Community and Junior College Library section. I so appreciated that support and what I learned about librarianship during that leadership opportunity. In my other life, I've been mentored by many. As a longtime and now lifetime member of the Grand Rapids JCs, I was supported and encouraged in my local chapter and chapter foundation training by Sandra Frost Steensma, a name that many of you will know, Ken Parrish, Deb Warwick, and Carl Haskell. Sandy recommended that I always take the leadership opportunity that would expand my skill set, and when it was done, reflect upon what I had learned. Nationally, USJC's President Kelly Wills thought I had the chops to break into an old boys network when he nominated me to serve as the first woman on the USJC's foundation, where the incumbent members thought that they had elected Dan Schichtel, not Nan Schichtel. Today, Gina Bivens, the Grand Rapids Historical Society president, serves as a great role model for me in my various roles on that board. Time and again, role models saw something in me where they offered me leadership opportunities, and I know how advantaged I was to have had their support. I strive to be a mentor to others that my role models have been to me. This honor today spurs me to put even more effort into that mentoring of others, and especially our GRCC students. In closing, thanks to all of you for this opportunity to count my many blessings, of which you are a big part. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Patricia McClellan. Pat McClellan is this year's recipient of the GRCC Salute to Women Former Employee Award. As you will read in our program, Pat is someone who saw a need to resolve a problem, and that problem was a community need for well-trained and fairly compensated occupational therapists. As an occupational therapist, Pat first researched, then coordinated with GRCC to initiate our occupational therapy assisting program. Her decision to act benefited not only all of the OTA program graduates since 1981, but countless clients who received and continue to receive excellent professional care from certified occupational therapy assistants in our greater community. One nominator wrote, "Pat is a model in a demanding and giving career. She has taught many life lessons to others, such as how to make a pot roast, or sew on a button, or how to laugh when one feels like crying." Pat is an exemplary example, a stellar example of a retired GRCC faculty member, caring, kind, and compassionate. Pat McClellan, a woman of vision and concern. Today, we are also honored to have our current occupational therapy assistant program director here with us to read some comments that students have written about Pat McClellan over the years. Please welcome Karen Walker.
Okay. Sure does. It's good. Nice. Is that fine? Good enough. I'll just talk loudly. Good afternoon. This is a very difficult situation for us. Alice Donahue, who was also was a program director as well, is here as well. Pat started the program and really identified a need and was a very tireless advocate for the individuals who required our services. And then when she retired, Alice Donahue took over, and then when Alice retired, I took over. So that's kind of what we do here. We just retire and move along here. So, but Pat was an amazing example. We had the opportunity last semester to redo our health brochure, and Pat came in, and she was one of our models. So she acted in the role of the patient, and it was so endearing to me that I introduced her to our students, and they all turned and gave her a standing ovation, because we are doing this program and providing an amazing service to our clients because of her, and she will not be forgotten. So when Pat left, the students got together, and when she retired, and came up with some nice notes for her, so that's what I'm going to be reading right now. Pat, like you, thanks for the fine program, and I hope we make you proud. You have been so wonderful having you as a director, a friend, and a teacher. You are excellent in all of them, and thank you for being so nice, sweet, and smart. Thank you so much for all your time and care and your unique ability to make each student feel special. And I want to tie off on that one. She makes everybody feel special. She's a person who truly listens. I mean, excellent example for us to follow. I will never know how much patience and guidance was helped for me. You helped me through some most difficult times in my life. And if it weren't for you, I probably wouldn't have finished the program. Thank you so much for your strength and all the lessons you taught me. I think I would especially always remember you as being calm, and also no matter what the hectic situations you happen around you, you will help us to grow and develop quality someday. And there are several others, but I have one last one I want to share with you. Thinking of all the hard times, hard work, love, and strength that you put into this program to make it work. And I hope that I can, someday I will have the opportunity to be like you. And if you will be, and if I can just have one patient and be patient the way that you've been with us, and many times everything will be worth it. I had the opportunity to go to, I think, 2 or 3 of Pat's retirement parties, because obviously Pat retired, and then I was hired at that time, and then I went to, I think, 2 other retirement parties as well. So Pat just never stopped going, and also never stopped giving. So she was an amazing role model and just a wonderful human being. So thank you.
With pleasure, I now present Ariel Brown. And my notes say you can come forward. Ariel is the recipient of the Salute to Women Student Award. Ariel is a powerful example of the potential of someone who learns from each life experience, applying that learning to setting new goals and accepting new challenges. As you will read in her biography, Ariel is a woman who maintains a full academic schedule while volunteering with Planned Parenthood, serving in leadership positions in campus organizations, and working as a student employee. She credits her family for modeling social responsibility and GRCC for offering her the opportunity to understand the excitement and the power of education with all of its possibilities. It is immediately apparent when talking with Ariel that she is most comfortable when engaged and making a difference in the lives of the people she encounters. One nomination noted that Ariel embodies what you would most desire in a student leader, someone who assists and supports others while growing and challenging themselves. Congratulations, Ariel. It gives me great pleasure to give you this award. Ariel Brown, a woman of compassion and promise.
Thank you. Hi, family. Thank you to my nominators and the nomination committee for thinking so highly of me and allowing me to be on this stage today in what I would like to call a League of Extraordinary Women, because from a child to right now, my mother, my sister, my grandmother, always told me that it's just good to help others. Just do for people. Don't ever expect anything back, because as a human being, that's what you're supposed to do. When you go somewhere and you get to the top and you get as far as you think you can go, it's always good to reach back and pull somebody up with you. And that's kind of what I strive to do every day, as long as I can share even a little bit of information, like the main building is the brown brick, not the cement brick. There are skywalks. You don't have to take the hills. That's good enough for me. I never thought that I would be standing here getting an honor that Dr. Mullins, Carol Wedwine, Deb Bailey, Nan Sichtel, all of you. I just never thought that I would be here, but I have to say thank you to all of you for being amazing examples for me, for being my family away from family. And my family appreciates it too. Thank you, and I love you all. And Mommy, everything that I do is all for you, because everything that you've done for me comes straight from your heart, and it makes me just radiate with joy, because I know that I'm making you proud of me, and I love you.
Our final recipient. Our final recipient of today is Deborah Bailey. Deb is the recipient of the Salute to Women Alumna Award. As a first-generation college student, Deb recounts the importance of both the acceptance and the expectation of achievement she found at then GRJC. The experience helped shape her understanding of lifelong learning and the importance of positive mentoring relationships. Deb has said, "I am forever aware of the generosity of so many women who shared with me and coached me through the years." This awareness manifests itself in Deb's continuing interest in issues of concern to women and her commitment to social responsibility. She has had many, many accomplishments, as you will see in our program. One nominator writes, "She has frequently been a mentor of young women and has always been a role model to many. She is involved with many community events, both from a leadership position as well as a community activist. All of us here at GRCC particularly appreciate her diligence and her insight as an elected Board of Trustees member here at the college. Congratulations, Deb Bailey, a woman of service and leadership." And we also have an award for you.
Thank you. Ariel, I have one adopted daughter. I have room for another in my family. So if there's ever a little tiff here, you call me. What I wouldn't do to have my daughter say those things publicly. No, I'm sure she feels them, but just hasn't. Sure. Thank you so much to everyone that's had a role in this event and continues to have a role in students' lives. When she mentioned that I was the first person to come to college in my family, that was on both sides of the family, probably amongst 30 people. And I was one of those students that would have been in some of the special needs classes when I arrived at community college. I arrived with a high grade point of 2.2, searching for careers that didn't involve math, and actually found some of those, but then in graduate school, it's gonna find you sooner or later, math, so you might as well just get over it and buckle in. But the thing that I think was so important is that it wasn't the academics that really inspired me here. It was getting involved, engaged in student activities, that I learned that everyone has their gifts. And one of my gifts was I'm a hard worker. While I wouldn't ever be in the National Honor Society, I could attach more roses to a homecoming float than anybody else. But what you also learn is that you need people with all kinds of skills and all kinds of backgrounds to make anything work. So after I got involved with student activities here, that's what hooked me, and that I wanted to stay in school, to come to school, see my friends, be involved, see the results of my work that was great, not necessarily in the academic arena. I ended up graduating from college, and my first job, and it's a long story, I thought I was going to the Upper Peninsula, but I accepted a job in Kuwait. And it was 1971, so not many people knew where Kuwait was then. But the best part about that job is that I was living as a minority by gender by race, by religion. And it was the kind of learning experience money could never, never buy. I was teaching kids from 42 countries. This was a perfect academic calendar, 7.5 months in school, 4.5 out. But that involved a lot of travel to third world countries and in environments where I would sit back and say, except for the grace of God and the accident of my birth, I happened to be born in West Michigan to a 2-parent family. I was born 20 steps ahead of the vast majority of the rest of the world's population. And that's when it was a wonderful, wonderful rude awakening that to those much is given, much is expected. And if you have access to resources and access to assets, you have no choice but to try and break down those barriers for others. I've also learned that in community leadership, half of it is just showing up. And as I've said to someone, if you show up and you say what you do what you say you're going to do, the next thing you know, you're president of that organization. Right, Ariel? Okay, it happens. So for those of you that are not sure about your talents, just show up. And as somebody asked me what was the best advice I ever got, and it was from a Notre Dame nun in probably 68, and she said, Deborah, if you can't be smart or beautiful, you better just be nice. And so whenever I see those Be Nice stickers around service and leadership, it's treating others with respect, and it's treating others in the way that you would want to be treated. I think the other thing I've often said to young people and my peers, you've got to find an environment and a culture where you can be successful. You've got to know who you are and your values and what you need. And I've been lucky enough when I chose to move back to Grand Rapids to say, this is the kind of community where you can make a difference, where there's nothing in a community this size. I used to say there's nothing you can't do in this community except run as a Democrat for elected office and win, and even that has changed in the last 25 years. But it's the kind of community that I've had fabulous role models, way too many to mention, and there have been a lot of male role models out there too, I have to say. But I've had just people are helpful, people are kind, people are generous on so many attributes, and you just have to learn to ask for help, which is a lesson I've learned. First, you have to learn to accept help graciously, and then you have to learn how to ask for help. So it's a kind of community where it's been fun to be engaged, and I find that I get energy, and I always say judge a person by the company they keep, and that's why I hang out with people like you in this room and the other organizations that I'm affiliated with. So thank you very much.
Well, again, congratulations to all our honorees. I want to thank our corporate sponsors, Kleenex and Puffs, for this afternoon. My name is Don McKenzie, and it's my pleasure to work in the foundation here at GRCC. And Pat McClellan's family asked me to just mention the scholarship that was established in her name back in 1986 when she retired. And what I find so unique and special about this scholarship is that it wasn't established by Pat, and it wasn't established by her family, but that the scholarship was established by her colleagues. And what a true testament to the impact that she had on this campus, that upon her leaving, her colleagues in the department and across the campus would want to establish a scholarship in her name. And as they prepared to make arrangements as a family, they have asked that in lieu of flowers that if you would like to make a gift to the Patricia McClellan Scholarship here at GRCC, to please do that. And I think that in our 100th anniversary year, Pat's planning really underscores the tagline of our 100th anniversary year, which was great past, bright future. And Pat's work on this campus helped so much to add to our great past as an institution, but the scholarship, that was established in her name certainly is ensuring our bright future as a college and in that program. So a little background for you, the Salute to Women's Scholarship, the fund was established in 1999, and it was established by the committee, the Salute to Women's Committee and the Women's History Month planning team. And the scholarship fund is now endowed, which is wonderful, and the scholarship fund provides a $600 scholarship to a female student who has been out of high school for at least 5 years and who has at least a 2.5 minimum GPA. And unfortunately, this year's scholarship recipient was not able to be with us, but this year's scholarship recipient is Naomi Brown Smith. And she's a 2001 graduate of Hudsonville High School. She's a mother. She was a 2010 Art Prize artist. And she has faced adversity through her life, including struggling with poverty and a divorce where she lost everything and had to start anew. This coming fall, she will be attending Calvin College, pursuing a double major. So pretty phenomenal story this young woman has. Naomi says that it's at GRCC where she found her voice. While attending the college, she has gained the understanding that where we come from as individuals is part of our history, and what we choose to do in the present becomes part of our future. And she asked me to share a poem that she recently wrote for one of her classes. And I looked at the poem and I thought, I don't know about reading a poem. And then I read the poem and I thought, I'm going to read this poem. For two reasons. One, because she asked me to, and number two, because the guys are filming it and it will be on GRCC TV so she can take a look at it. So the poem is entitled, I'm From. And again, it's a poem by Naomi Brown Smith. I'm from blotted ink and worn piano keys, open sky country and timbered Idahoan logs. I'm from Montana mountains and Michigan basements, open windows and unlocked doors. I'm from broken families and broken hearts, water baptism and children who speak in tongues. I'm from Charlie's perseverance and Nancy's lies, self-destructiveness and reckless hope. I'm from a father and a daughter sharing coffee under the stars, fish guts, black dregs, and complete contentment. I'm from musty cardboard boxes collecting dust and memories, Shakespearean sonnets, and Sherlock Holmes. I'm from mud pies, velvet green cornfields, and chocolate lab puppies. IMDb credits, abracadabra, and the value of nothing. I'm from Bob the Engineer and Val the Artist, a bright red truck smelling of sawdust and glazed clay forms. I'm from courageous and cowardice, the burn of tobacco on my tongue and bourbon in my lungs. I'm from bright vintage dresses and heavy Jinko jeans, grass stains from football and indestructible lacquered nails. I'm from empty cupboards and a full offering plate, a wanderer, an instigator, and a dreamer. I'm from a limitless horizon at 10,000 feet, a flower shooting up through the cracks in the pavement. Again, that's a poem by Naomi Brown Smith. Yeah. So I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't say that there are envelopes on your table if you would like to help students like Naomi Brown Smith or Ariel. And so please consider that in helping students achieve their dreams. Again, I want to thank you for joining us today for this incredible celebration, very inspiring afternoon, and congratulations to each of our honorees. And if our honorees will please stay here, we'd like to get some pictures taken, all right? So please have a wonderful afternoon. Again, thanks for being here.